Just a few questions for you. Tell me a little bit about your background and how'd you get involved in jiu-jitsu, how'd you get involved in mixed martial arts?
Well, really, I don't really have a background. After high school, I didn't do anything, so I didn't have anything to do. So my brother was actually driving by this place, and he thought it'd be a good idea to try it out, and I just came with him, and I fell in love with it. Right then and there, I fell in love with jiu-jitsu, so I just picked it up.
Very cool. So I was just looking at some of your previous fights, and noticed you have quite a few submission wins. Do you consider yourself a jiu-jitsu fighter? Do you consider yourself you like to throw hands? What's the story?
I mean, in an MMA fight, I mean, I want to do whatever wins the fight, but I mean, I love grappling, so I mean, I'm gonna lean towards grappling and submissions. But when it comes to fighting, you know, I'll throw hands. I'll do whatever it takes to win the fight. I really don't care.
Right.
That just happened to be, you know, submissions.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, tell me a little bit around here. Do you hold any? Are you a belt holder of any organization around here?
Yeah. I'm a blue belt under Renato Tavares, and this is a Renato Tavares organization here in Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu. So, yeah, I hold a blue belt under him in Jiu-Jitsu, and I hold. As far as MMA goes, I hold a couple of amateur belts and one tournament belt, but that's my rank blue.
Cool. So your next fight coming up with Titan. Have you been? Was your last fight your first fight with Titan against Rich?
Yeah, that was my first fight. Okay. My second fight is going to be on March 25th for Titan.
Right, and that's against Alonzo Martinez, correct? So last fight, kind of an underdog in that fight, but ended up pulling out the triangle.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that fight. Probably meant a lot for you. Was it the biggest win of your career?
It was the biggest win by far. Pretty much, I was getting my butt whooped the entire time.
Right.
You know, I was using good jiu-jitsu from the bottom to survive, pretty much, but he was still lighting me up with elbows, and I think he actually got tired from beating me up because in the third round, I kind of felt him, you know, like he didn't have the same pop behind his punches.
Right.
So I really think he got tired from just beating the crap out of me.
So was there anything you noticed in the jiu-jitsu game, or did you feel like the triangle was there, or did you see anything?
I went for it as kind of like a last-ditch effort. I really didn't think I was going to get it, but he just kind of fell into it. It was just one of those things where he kind of set himself up for it, you know?
Yeah. Cool. So, as far as you like your jiu-jitsu game or even your MMA game, is there somebody out there that you look at their style and you think that's the style I want, or is there somebody even on the local scene that you look at and?
Yeah, I really don't have anybody. You know, I'm just gonna fight whoever scheduled.
Right, very cool. So your next fight against Alonzo Martinez, looking at his record, pretty experienced guy.
Very experienced.
What are you expecting from him?
From the past, it seems like he's really aggressive. He's not afraid to stand and bang. Seems like he has a good top game, heavy hips. He'll throw a lot of elbows. I just expect a really aggressive fighter, a really talented fighter, and I haven't really come up with a game plan yet, so I don't know what I'm going to do.
What was your biggest fight? Would you consider it the Clemente fight?
Yeah, that was by far the biggest fight. Yeah. My other biggest fight, well, my second biggest is probably Joe Wilk, and that's just a local name. But
your favorite fight, would it be the Clemente fight also?
Oh my gosh, in a way, I mean, I took a butt whoop in that fight. So it wasn't that fun.
Right.
Probably my favorite fight is my pro debut. I TKO'd the guy in like 15 seconds. I was in, I was out, got the party afterwards.
So I asked you all this already, but tell us a little bit about where you train, the guys you train with, things like that.
I do most of my gi training up here at Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu. I do a lot of my MMA training and my stand-up at K2L. At Blue Springs, you know, I got guys, unknown guys because they're in Jiu-Jitsu, but they push me, guys like Brett Howell, Wayne Marble, guys like that. And up at K2L, you got MMA fighters like James Krause, Eric Marriott, Brian Davidson. I train, you know, my stand-up and striking with a lot. So those guys are more noticed, but these are the two gyms I primarily hop back and forth.
Cool. What's your goal? I mean, what are you looking to? Is it the UFC? Is it?
I mean, I'd like to compete in the UFC, but it's whatever. Really,
Right.
I kind of just have a chill, laid back mindset.
Yeah.
Wherever it takes me, it takes me.
Cool. So what do you do now? Like outside of this, do you have a full time? I assume.
It's a part-time job. I work for my dad's construction company. I do construction whenever he needs the extra help, whenever I need money.
Yeah.
But I try and train as much as I can. That's it. I just work and train.
Yeah. So what weight are you fighting at?
55.
Do you have to cut a lot of weight to get there?
In the past, I'm trying to get my weight down as low as I can, so I don't have to cut that much. But before I've like cut from like 180.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it below 170 right now. I'm waking up at like 171.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be that hard.
Right.
But in the past, I've
Still
cut
a
a
little
lot of weight. And that was retarded.
In the height of training, what's a day like?
Depends if I'm working. If I'm not working, I'll go to K2L at about 10:30. Train for a couple hours there. Go home and rest. Go back to the gym. Train at night. Then finish
Back to K2L.
K2L or here or wherever, and finish off with some training there. And I'll normally end up with a run or end the night with a run. If I'm working, that's rough. I wake up at like 4:45.
Ooh.
Yeah, I meet a buddy up at the gym. We train. Then I go to work.
Wow.
Then take a power nap when I'm off work.
Yeah.
Then go back to the gym and train. I don't like that. Alright, the way I went for it in the fight, I was actually going for an arm bar. So I tossed my hips up and he popped this arm out. Alright, but the thing he did is he left this hand right here. Alright, and all I did is hip up and clamp right here. And then he started working this pass where you go out the back door to the side. But since I was trapped up against the cage, he couldn't change his angle on me. So all I did was hook right here, hip up and pull it through, and locked it up. A lot of people, when they lock it up, they don't get a good lock. You see how this is locked behind here? All right, if you lock it behind their shoulder, it's game over right off the bat. All right, and that's where I got it. So, one more time. Boom. He's going for the arm bar, a sloppy arm bar he pulled out, ducked his head back in right here. This is why I don't like this pass too. I catch a lot of people when they try and pass like this. Grab the tricep as he's passing. Boom. Get wrist control.
Too good.
Hook under the leg, turn the corner, pinch your knees together, and I'm not even pulling down on the head yet. Alright? Go for an arm bar, boom. He goes right here. When he starts to do this pass, grab the tricep, hip up,